And what is it, Sunday night? Well, you know what time it is? It's time for Shibizens After Dark. Yo, I got TLD with me, and I got Bar B with me. What's up, y'all?
Good morning.
Yeah.
What's going on?
It's been a heck of a
What's going
week,
on,
y'all.
Trey?
Hello, what's up?
Congratulations on, I think 2 weeks now, Shibizens at night. That's amazing, you guys. Fucking round of applause for us. Killing it.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Love it.
Yo, I
Yeah.
wanted to talk about something I heard today. It's about that Omikami. Omikami. We talked about it earlier in the week. It's Ryoshi's new pet project. Well, I noticed that it was going to have either 777 or 888 NFTs, Barbie. And it made me think of what we talked about this week, because we talked a little bit about the Shiboshi's card game. Okay, now Omikami is going to have one very, very similar. Now, here's why I say that. I think we can improve. Okay. Shiboshi's, you get a dog. He might have a party hat on. He might have some laser eyes. He might have some stinking hot flaming Cheeto breath. But he's got superpowers, right? He's got an outfit. He may have tie-dye. He may be smoking a blunt. These are different attributes that each of these NFTs carry. And they go into a game, Trey, like Dungeons and Dragons. Barbie was telling us earlier. What were you saying about Dungeons and Dragons, Barb?
I was talking about, we were talking about lore and LARP, and when you are knowing the lore of your character, or you know the background story of your character, then you stay in character through the entire game.
Whoa, that sounds like fun. That really sounds like fun. I think we can take some of the great Dungeon and Dragon elements that have lasted the test of time and take them into NFT card game, just like they are. They're being examples on what to do with a good NFT. An NFT that I like to hold, Barbie, it'll come with something extra. It usually ain't a party hat. You know what I like to hold? I like to hold a soundtrack from Death Row Records. Remember those, Trey? Remember when we got those bunch of soundtracks from Death Row?
Definitely.
So we were buying rights to the music, Barbie.
Okay.
And Death Row had something going on. A friend of mine called. I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. I pulled up OpenSeas. I didn't know what I was looking at. But shout out to Justin. He said, John, just buy the songs that you like. I said, okay. So honestly, what Snoop Dogg and the crew down there was doing, shout out to his son, he was doing some of that with them. They were actually giving away way too much value, Barbie, and I think you'll appreciate this. They were giving away Bored Ape Club artwork, Mutant Ape Club artwork, along with their song. For how much were we paying for them, Trey? What was it, like between $15 and $115 per track?
Yeah.
And you were
per
getting
track
artwork. Yeah.
I can see, and the artwork came with it too. Yeah.
And that was the extra value. You were getting expensive artwork that would cost you a lot more than that to own outright, but you were getting the rights to use it because they came with the NFT. They came with the music that I was buying. That's why Justin called me. He said, John, I don't know if Snoop knows what he's doing or not, but he's giving away a hell of a lot of value right now. And that's the kind of NFTs I really like. And I'll tell you why, Barbie. Let's say you're making a movie, or like Justin was making that comic book the other day. And let's say he wants to make an animation like the Turtles, like he loves the Turtles. So now he's got music scores that he can use in the backgrounds to anything, his movies, his videos, his comics. He virtually can build a movie around an already written score. For what? A couple $100.
Wow. That's super.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, that really is. Love it.
And we bought Death Row Country albums that night. We bought a lot of.
Are you serious?
They had kids, Death Row children's stuff. It was Snoop singing the ABCs and some other stuff. It was really nice. Bought some meditation videos by Snoop, and what we were buying was the rights to use that audio track basically, and it came with the artwork.
Nice. Yeah, I really like that. I'm gonna have to try to figure that out with my my haikus that I post, because most of them that I do create do come with song, and I'm not sure if obviously that I would have to get the rights to that.
Well, that I'm glad you said
Interesting.
that. We would be able to use some of those same ones we bought that month back in a couple of years back. We would be able to use some of those in for instance, your haikus, because I own the rights to that music. Another thing is I own the rights to that damn artwork, which is expensive.
You that too?
Yeah, you could use that as well.
So how does that work, John? Are you knowing how that works if they like make several copies of the same thing?
They do.
Yeah. So then multiple people can use that. Is that how that's?
Yes. And Justin was actually buying some 13. Sometimes he would buy 13 of the same track to resell at a higher price.
Okay.
Now, me, I didn't. I bought one a piece. I didn't need all that. I wasn't a reseller, let's just say. But that must be a big market over there, the resale market with some NFTs. I don't know a whole lot about it, but those are some of my favorite attributes to buy in a digital asset.
Yeah, it's very cool. I like that whole idea that they really have thought this through, John. Those people that have put this together really had the genius to think these things that, are necessary through.
Speaking of that, shout out to JD over at PawZaar Community. He's the owner of PawZone. Very transparent guy, shows his face. I tell you what, he's done an amazing job building a rival to OpenSeas. But the reason, anybody could build a rival to OpenSeas. They're a dime a dozen to build. Probably not that hard to build now. Having the actual storage, different story. But this guy, he has taken it one step further into DeFi and deflation, and he is burning Shiba Inu with every transaction, meaning giving people an incentive to come over here and do their NFT buying.
Yeah, that thing is going to explode. That was one of the biggest sleepers. You did I don't know, you're really becoming a prophet here. Because think about that. Last week, this time, you started the whole thing. You started that entire energy on PawZaar. And then Trey picked it up the night before. He had posted that thing. And you remember that, Trey? You put that online. And that very night, we started talking about it again. And boom, total explosion. Think about it. It went up $10 in one night. In one day, it went up $10. It's back down a little bit. It's back down just a little bit, but people are still buying it.
It has retraced down to about $8. I like to buy it around $3, $4. If it drops back down again there and you guys see it, that's a great buying price because you could buy 1% of the entire supply for let's see. What is 80 or 83 times? What's 83 times 3? $249 buys 1% of the entire supply of that.
Yeah, I was such a sleep. I can't believe it. I had missed it by a day. I'm like, fuck.
Oh no. I've been still
crying
about it. Me too. Yeah, 100%.
Nah, it's all good. It's all good because it doesn't matter. When it goes, it's gonna go. Like Bill, B Willow was on last night, and he's been on for the past couple nights, and he is all about it, and he's in that chat, and he's constantly, really doing such a nice work there. Really, so proud of him.
Shout out to B Willow gang. Shout out to the Hachi gang, the Hachi gang. Have you you've heard about that asset, right? Barbie, Hachi, the dog. Let me tell you
about it. I know. You know what? Paul was part of that, right?
Paul. Shout out to Gingerbeard. Paul's one of the greatest guys in the space. He is such a loving guy. Loves his neighbors, just like himself. Hachi the dog was a famous Japanese dog. Okay, this is what they tell me. John, they've made movies about it. Richard Gere was in it. Was Julia Roberts in that one? No, that was a different one. Anyways, The
That
dog,
was about Hachi?
yeah, well, not that
Oh
one.
my God.
But
Yeah, just
but Hachi, what had happened was he would go to the train station every day with his owner. Is that right, Trey? I'm gonna fuck this up.
yeah, you got it.
Uh-huh. And then his owner died, and he kept going down there waiting for him or something to that effect, right? What was that, 1950s, something like that in Japan? So now that is that the father? No, that's not the grandfather of Shiba Inu, is it? Yeah, it is. It is. That's the grandfather of Shiba Inu, if I'm not mistaken. Now, let me talk about his other friend, Hachi's other friend. This is Ryoshi's best friend. Have you heard of Ryoshi's best friend named Shiza?
No, tell me about that one.
Yes, so Shiza, S-H-I, like Sheena, like S-H-I, the stable coin, but S-H-I-Z-A, Shiza, Inu. And it was touted, if I'm not mistaken, it was touted as the birth of ShibaSwap. Like maybe like the first good thing to own on ShibaSwap. I don't really know, but it was really touted as Ryoshi's best friend. Now, the first time I heard that, they said it was Shiba's best friend.
Okay.
First time I heard it, it was from Crypto Mom, and she explained it as it was Shiba's best friend. Then the website says Ryoshi's best friend. So either way, I said this is going to be a character, in where the metaverse, I would think they would need some characters in the metaverse. Sheena, Shiza, Hachi, Shiba. I'm sure I'm leaving some out. Yeah, what? Omikami. What's that new one that's been going crazy today with the $27 million market cap? Did y'all see that?
Yeah, Osaka.
Osaka. Now, I'm not familiar with that one. Are you?
Or no, is it Osaka? O-S-A-K. So Osaka?
Uh-huh. Did we hear any lore surrounding that one?
Nothing. I think it just started. John, it's so down on the ground. I mean, it's, several digits out there, but people were just sweeping and sweeping and sweeping. Oh my God. Thousands of dollars right there in front of us. It was incredible. It's just been an incredible day watching it all unfold. I don't know what that project's about. I don't know who's behind it, but I tell you.
You talking about Osaka, the Osaka protocol, or just Osaka?
Yeah, the protocol. I'm pretty sure. Isn't that what it's called? I think so. Now, let me tell you what I saw as soon as I saw that going crazy like that. And I said, oh, this some bitch is at $27 million market cap. I said, this is something mainstream. I said, oh, I know what this is. This is the kickoff. This is the scrimmage game. Oh, yeah. And what do I mean by that? I mean that people are making money over here. And then
this says the project started with an airdrop for 30% of total supply to all people that sold Shiba before it went to the moon.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Explain that.
I've seen it before, Barbs. I've only seen it one time in my life, and it was the start of this year. It was called an asset called Bonk, B-O-N-K. And it was on the Solana blockchain. Shout out to Mark the Shark and everybody over at Solana. So Bonk was airdropped 50% to, I think it was anybody who held, this is important, Essie, this is cool for us. Anybody who held certain NFTs. I think there was 300 different NFT collections. Like Haiku would be one collection in there. So out of those 300 collections, everybody that held one, because, they might have been bought, sold, resold, but whoever held it on that certain day, they dropped 50% of the total supply of Bonk out to those 300 projects. Now, usually airdrops scare me and Trey because we don't know nothing about them. But Mark the Shark, fearless. He said, oh, let me just move it to another wallet. So he didn't sell it. So he didn't have to give any permissions. He just moved it, right? So he moved it to a wallet he didn't care about. Then he sold it. Now, he sold too early because Bonk went straight to the moon for 4 or 5 days. It was just straight up into the mountains. And mountains of the moon. And then it came back down. But here's the deal. Is this a big artist community? The Solana community themselves has been through so much. Their token shot off from probably about $1 to about $200, and then retraced eventually. While it took a while, probably months, maybe, but it retraced down to like $8, devastating that community. Maybe FTX was involved. Who knows what the fuck happened? But I'll tell you this. What Trey just said reminded me a lot of it, because he said, yo, they dropped 30% of the total supply of that protocol, Osaka protocol, to who, Trey? Shiba holders who sold too early.
Yep.
So that means Shiba took off probably, let's just say it was on this day right here, started taking off. Well, they probably took a time shot of all the wallets who sold prior to that date. And then they dropped in that Osaka. So it sounds like.
Yeah.
Isn't that
Okay.
amazing?
But it sounds like it's right up our alley. So it is OSAK. That's OSAK. That's the abbreviation for it, but it is Osaka protocol.
I think it is.
True decentralization. So it's a decentralized finance initiative that aims to create an environment of equality and shared responsibility, promoting the concept that ownership percentage equates to one's level of responsibility and influence. Each holder's power is proportionate to their ownership stake. It aims to cultivate a thriving ecosystem driven by community, collaboration, and true decentralization. And Osaka was created to follow the vision of Ryoshi and bringing back decentralized to the people.
Wow.
There is no
another
debt.
thing I saw today on that Okami video that was 4 months old. I saw that Okami stakers, I think it said, would get a new token that reminds me kind of that protocol Trey's talking about. They said there's a new token coming out through Omikami. Now, here's what else I know about it. There's only one person in charge of that deployer, Ryoshi. So with all that lore that was just coming out about that Osaka protocol, it smells like it might be that deployer. I'm just curious. I wouldn't know how to check it, but
Yes.
I tell you what, it's a hell of a spirit of giving when you do that with 30% of the total supply.
You ain't lying.
Yeah, man, that'd be nice. Where's my wallet? One wallet got $31,000. Damn.
Say again?
That's just crazy.
Say
I
what
was
now?
looking at one of the buys here was
Oh, wow.
$31,000.
Jesus, the price is
I
right.
know. Hello.
Goodness gracious.
Hello.
That's what
Good
I see
morning.
coming to our projects, guys. Hope, wake up, revolution, treat, I see that kind of those kind of buys coming in there. There's no doubt about it. Not a doubt in my mind.
Yeah, I'm excited. Actually, that excites me because I do believe in hope, especially hope is one of my favorites. And, to have these devs already start this and have us a part of the beginning and just say, hey, hold on 1 minute, it's going to happen. I think it's great. And how awesome is that, really? If this is any kind of marker, what we're watching here with Osaka, to think that hope might have that possibility one day, wow.
Big time. And that's just I think that's just the start of it. I think Shiba at one time had about close to 65 or $75 billion market cap. And I think currently probably has, I can't remember, Trey, do you know, maybe 5, 7 billion, 13 billion, something like that, right?
Something like that, yeah.
And I see that coming for Treat. I see it coming as this ecosystem as a whole. It's just a multi-billion-dollar ecosystem. There's so many good assets in it. We forget about
that. Yeah, you put that picture up today again, and when you look at that and stand back and be like, wow, here we are on the bottom level, pushing out all these different tokens and how they're supposed to work, and the mothership Unity there in the corner doing both fund and X fund. And we have the opportunity right now to get unity at a point where, this can be really beneficial to our future. I mean, it's like we need to get the word out.
No kidding. That Unity, there's only one token on Unity. I think we made a short about it last night on YouTube if anybody wants to check that out. But we called it the most scarce asset in the world because there's only one of them. And guess what? It's burning every hour. So Barbie, as people come into that token, it's going to be burning faster and faster and more as that volume per hour goes up. I put that map behind me, Barbs. We can see some of these things on it.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
But I see.
Talk me through that, John.
Okay.
Love to hear it.
I see Shibarium on there, and I see the treat ecosystem behind it. I'm sorry, under it. I see Shib and Bone above that. So I would call that, pretty much the foundation, And then over here, I see Omikami. Big space on that chart covering the universe. Yeah. I've probably looked at that 100 times and never realized it was so vast, Omikami there.
And not only that, how many times have I looked at this and never did I once recognize it?
No. And it says right there
in our face.
Yeah, whole time. And here's the thing, just like I was saying, I think behind the scenes earlier before we started the show, these guys are not competitors. These guys aren't frenemies. These guys are working together. This is Omikami working with the Shiba ecosystem.
Yeah, and they also said, if you look at this chart, John, they said that Omikami was going to take over Bone and Shib. And if you look at this chart the way it is, you can see the way that cycle looks. Goes straight to Omikami, it overrides Bone and Shib, and there you are, boom, dropping things into the AI, the wallet, and the metaverse. And also what's important, John, have you seen what it looks like? Have you seen the credit card? Ooh, yeah. It's slick.
Gorgeous.
It's gorgeous. Black and it's gorgeous.
I wonder, there's Hachi below my belt over here. See Hachi and Shy down there, SHY?
Yep. I can't find this Shy. This is Shy is like kind of new to me to hearing it.
I remember the people over in Treat at one time were big on it. They were saying, okay, let me think about the supply. So SHI has a 999 million supply, right at $1 billion. Okay, right. And then the Shy has 666, so 666 million. Okay, and then I'm sorry, billion. I don't know, million or billion. And then the Treat has 333. It has what is that total supply over there? 333 billion.
I don't. Yeah, I think it's billion.
333 billion, and so they're going 369. Now, they may be right. They may be reading into it a little more, kind of like the Sheena people are reading into Sheena equaling Treat. I think, sometimes it's hard to decipher these cryptic messages, pictographs, whatever they may be, graphs. That's why it's important that we look at it together and we talk about it. And I love doing it with y'all.
Oh, same. Yeah, and if you look up on the top where you have the X fund and fund, which I guess I really didn't realize that they were more involved with Shibarium, but I guess because that was more like X, that was more like Elon's project.
Well, let me tell you what X fund and fund are. They are, Unity, the boys that are built the Shibarium or built the L2, strictly they were working on liquid data. They were working on a unified language, okay, a common standardized protocol language to de-silify people's data, meaning Burger King's not in this silo and McDonald's is in this silo and their data doesn't talk to each other. So working on one language that everybody could work on. That was what Unity was really doing. And see this fund right here with the dollar sign somewhere over here? I'm not the weatherman. The fund, before it was fund, before they knew, Barbie, whether they were going to be on the Ethereum chain or some other chain, I can't remember. they were called UND. And just like this, down here, UN, but UND. So the F was gone. But that was Unity, our boys that are building the L2. So they went on to ETH. They probably added this F. And now, if I'm not mistaken, what was Gowdy's group saying about that mirror and that PawZaar? PawZaar was mirroring X Fund and their total supply. And what was Fund mirroring? Because they have a higher total supply. Fund does.
PawZaar.
PawZaar.
No,
Oh, Paw. And so PawZone and PawZaar were mirroring
Correct.
Fund and X Fund. Okay, makes sense.
Yeah. So if you follow that chart, John, you go to Ching, right, which is the Oracle of Oracles.
Mm-hmm.
And if you follow down Fund, you go straight down. That O group is down on the bottom of that one. You see where the work is?
Oh, yeah.
Now that's interesting to me because this O group is supposed to be very difficult from what I understand. But look how it's caught up with the Oracle. Well, O is the Oracle of Oracles, correct? Or that's the O factor versus the X factor?
Maybe.
And it's connected
Yeah.
to, so I know that the QOM, in my opinion, I could be completely wrong, and I love being wrong, but I rather someone tell me I'm, right here.
Yes, ma'am.
Is in correspondence with the FANG. So if you go on the X Fund section, you'll see the FANG. I think the QOM is that FANG mirrored. Oh, it's mirrored. You see it? You see it, John?
I don't, but I believe it.
Maybe. I mean, maybe it could be.
It's over my head right now. Like I don't know how many. I'm not familiar with Quam. I am familiar with Fang, right? Fang the Phoenix, right?
Right. And
The
the Fang and the Ching, we did a huge study on that months and months and months ago. Thanks to who was that guy? Luma Lee,
Yep.
who really gave us such an education on Mad DeFi on these things. And I keep telling you, John, I will say it again. This time it's recorded. I think we're missing out on the Fang for some reason in my gut of guts. So I feel like we need to be on Fang much more,
Agree with you.
than we
Let me
are.
tell you some interesting things about Fang the Phoenix today that I found out.
Tell me.
Number one, on this map, which you can't see the top, but Fang and Ching the dragon, the celestial dragon, are up there, and they say that one is the VOR, that means verification of randomness. That would be Fang, F-E-N-G, the dragon. I'm sorry, the Phoenix. The other one is the celestial dragon, the Oracle of Oracles. So apparently, up on this chart that we can't see right this second, it looks like they work together, which is great. Now, I heard from Gowdy's group, it said the VOR will be ready this week. And he actually wrote X Fund beside that, Barbie. So maybe since X Fund is up there too, maybe that's got something to do with it. But he said the VOR will be ready, and therefore PawZaar Marketplace, the bazaar, will be able to launch. Shout out, JD. What up? Cheers. So when that happens, PawZaar opens up. Well, hell, it's my guess that those 8,500 PawZaar tokens that are left are going to probably be needed in that system. It needed either in the background through a router, which nobody even has to know about, or whatever the case may be. I got a feeling it'll be involved in that burning of that Shiba and all the transactions on there, making it one hell of a rare asset. Here's what Gowdy said today. Gowdy said, you want to be a millionaire? All you got to have is one PawZaar or one of these X Fund up here. And now he may be being a little facetious, but he called it yesterday too, saying, yo, these are $1 million a token. That's why you can't have but 80 of them or 100 of them hardly in a wallet. That's for sure. But $100 million there. Now, he may be a little off. He's not a damn Notre Dame. He is a magician, though.
Now you see him, now you don't. Well, the Fang is saying Hold'em Heroes, and it's to go to the GameFi.
Ooh.
And the Ching is the Shiboshis, NFTs, which is the PawZaar, right? The NFTs right there. And then it's got the oracles and esports. So you know, being that it's holding the data, the real life information on the internet, that thing is going to be really important, John. I'm telling you, we need to get a little bit more involved in that one.
I
Because
like it.
I haven't seen it anywhere.
No.
And you know, when I first started this whole thing, the Oracle of Oracles, I was actually thinking of it as more like a whale, and the fangs were the little fish that were kind of attached to it. But I knew
Right.
I knew a fang was like more like a Tinkerbell. I kept thinking they're like little tiny Tinkerbells. And then I realized, then I learned about the fang, and that it's this, you know, beautiful bird that flies around the dragon. So it's a very interesting idea and concept that these are the what they're using to represent going forward what, you know, Shibarium's all about.
Well, you taught me something just now. This is what you taught me. You said, yo, John, you got a randomness and then you've got gamifying. And that tells me, okay, well, randomness in NFTs, like there's some NFTs where me and Trey are going to buy your NFT and we want to hit the lucky one. We want to get that one with the silver wrapping on it, right? Now you need true randomness for that. True randomness. And what I was told is true randomness is not that easy, not as easy as it seems in a system like this network, like this ecosystem back here. Okay. True randomness is hard to find. Okay. True randomness. Now, the Ching, the Oracle, can not only, it's not predicting, it knows math so well that it can tell you when something's going to happen, more or less. I could be a hair off, but more or less. Now, in gamification, that tells me this, like those Shiboshis, okay? Maybe when they first came out, they would have been randomized. But let's say they're playing a game like Dungeons and Dragons. I need some randomness, and I also need some data, like you say, for or what was I thinking that the Ching could provide into a game? Just a lot of things, right? It's an Oracle. It could probably provide multiple things, but it smells like gaming to me. It really does. It smells like it would make it gaming more fun when you had machines like that working.
Yes. And that's probably what they meant when it's probably the lore that you need to know your background in order to go into these games to be able to do it. And then you're LARPing into it because now it's real life, you know, and here we are, and you're moving forward into it, John. I think it's a great thing here. Esports is part of the Ching, right? With the Oracle of Oracles. And let's just shout out to the Miami Dolphins.
Shout out to Dolphins.
Slaughterhouse today.
Slaughterhouse.
Oh, baby, they got spanked, those Broncos. Damn.
Look, that is really, think about it. Okay, you're doing
go Miami.
What's the thing the guys like to do with the football stats where they play they play at home? You know what I'm talking about with the stats? I would think something like the Ching, the Dragon, would come in very fucking handy right there, especially since I was told, probably because of this example up here, but told in a sports way, like it's about keeping up with sports games. If me and Trey are providing data to an Oracle, he's providing the basketball scores, I'm providing the basketball scores, or player stats, let's just say, that Oracle is going to check them. I think at least 3 ways. Now, I could be fucking that all up, but I think the Oracle of Oracles is going to check those damn sports scores or those stats. Now, if I'm playing fantasy football or something like that, or even some games, let's just say, that's going to make it a whole lot more fun. It's going to give players an edge as well, players that use it and players that don't.
Yeah, love it. Love it.
Machine learning. They categorize it 2 ways, machine learning and AI, Barbie. So can you imagine the edge you might get from that when doing something like fantasy football or Dungeons and D&D or?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm really catching the fever. I really am catching the fever. I really am. I'm starting to really get excited about it.
Now I get it.
You know, I'm not a gamer, but I can game if I need to.
If I need to, right? Exactly. Matter of fact, I think what was it? Okay, the Unity symbol. I was told one time, you know, might have something to do with these people that build games, and it may just be Unity. And I can't remember the name of the people, but I tell you what, Unity, the people that make fund and X Fund, they know what they're doing. They're doing it the right way. They've got the right gaming. They've got the right software. I cannot wait to see what rolls out. I think we have no clue. Everything over here has been stealth. Nobody's told us a damn thing. Figure it out, guys. And
well, I think that's kind of like, I've been learning a little bit more about Ryoshi this week, and that's how Ryoshi, whoever they are, likes it. They like you to figure it out. You have to be like a sleuth. You really got to come into this, be a detective, look around. All they want to do is drop little, hints here and there, and we got to figure it out, kind of put it together, big puzzle. And yet here we have the whole puzzle laid out for us, and now we just got to take the pieces and put the puzzles together. That's awesome. Awesome.
Yeah,
stuff.
shout out to learning. Yeah, they want us to learn.
Shout out to Ryoshi.
Yeah, shout out to Ryoshi for that. He wants us to learn, ask questions, get together, like you said, get together, talk it out, figure it out. And it's so much fun too. Shout out to you, Ryoshi, and everybody else down there at Unity, and all the volunteers, every single mod.
Oh, yeah.
Treat
big,
more.
Yeah. Big round of applause. Amen to that. These guys, man, they go hard every morning. They're up, they're running.
That's right.
I show up first because they show up.
That's right. Thank you for what you do, Barbara. We all do a great job. Thank you, Trey. Trey, where can these people find this beautiful videos you've been making lately, brother?
You can find them on Shibizens Daily Talk on YouTube.
Shibizens Daily Talk.
Trey, they look great. I love them. You're doing so nice for us. Thank you, manager.
No Gotcha. Thank y'all for what y'all do, man. Y'all teach me every day.
Thank you.
I like to be
a
content creator and shit like that, man. You guys teach me stuff every day.
But this metaverse that today, as we're talking about the gaming and we're talking about all the different oracles, I just had a thought, as we evolve, right? If you think of the end, and the end is us to be out there in space and just, I don't know, who knows what we're doing out there, but it's not our physical bodies anymore, so it's going to be in our brain, it's going to be in our mind.
Yes,
it's going to be, we're really spirit beings. Let's not fool ourselves. So we have a soul, and eventually that power, that switch will happen as we evolve, right? So the metaverse kind of gets us started. The AI that's happening gets us started, and we've talked about the eyeglassware and trying to get into a whole nother world and a whole nother reality. You have Dungeons and Dragons, you have all the different games that are out there to get us into a space that we haven't ever really known about. I mean, it's just mind-blowing, the idea to have that world unfolding in front of us. So if we really think about the future of Shibarium and where this is all going, it's really that NHI, it makes sense now. Do you follow me what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, okay. Oh yes. I really like that, what they're doing, behind the scenes with that, talking to NHI, getting it to explain things to them in algebra so that they can, at least, since that's a universal language, at least understand it, which that's a little over my head. But the subjects that they were conversing with NHI on was about teamwork and, community and just loving things. And the NHI was really nice, very, very knowledgeable from what I could read. It's just a few mediums that are published. I think you can find them in and around Gowdy's, not his big chat group, but the other group. Shout out to little Gowdy, by the way. Thank you for doing your damn thing. Thank you for holding a space that anybody can come into and share information about these assets. It's very important.
Absolutely.
Fucking pioneers, all of us. Trade that. Thank you for showing. Man, the graphics that y'all make, like this fucking one behind me here, what the fuck? Somebody's, out here using their art, being their own muse every single day around us.
It's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing.
That's what it takes too, man. That's what it takes. Community.
Yes, sir. Community, teamwork. Yeah, I mean, but Barbie, beyond that about NHI, what else is the word on the street about the asset and things? Because I'm not a holder. I don't know a whole lot about it.
All I know is what I read about, being the human, non-human intelligence. So,
Yes.
I think that's kind of an Elon project, I think.
Makes sense. I read today somebody was trying to break it down into, because I say non-human intelligence, and me and Trey think, well, what about butterflies, right? They're not human, but they're intelligent. But beyond that, some people refer to it as things that may live on or off this planet that are able to communicate, which, by the way, shout out to them. They're cool as fuck. What I read today was they were trying to compare it to AI. And I tell you why. In that Medium article, the person that was asking the NHI questions, I don't know if they were accessing the NHI through AI, if that makes any sense, because just like you can tell AI, hey, speak to me like you're a lawyer, speak to me like you're a dentist, and it will, it could be
that's a great technique. What a great tool. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It could be that simple, Barbie. That's what I was thinking. I was like, is it that simple, or have they gone to a further extent? Either way, the information they were getting was really good. Like I said, because they could break it down into algebra. I mean, if needed. After speaking it, however they wanted to say it, the guy was like, yo, would you do me a favor and break every single one of these into algebra for me? And that would give you a graph, and it would show you what teamwork looks like on a wave level, how these waves intertwine and work together. Yeah. Very cool shit.
What?
Very, very cool. They would take the algebra and make those graphs, and there would be the waves.
All right. So they took teamwork and turned it into a problem.
Turned it into a graph, yeah, that was like weaving together. And you know what it was talking about? How information disseminates and spreads. Teamwork was one graph, and how information disseminates and spreads was another graph. Because, like if Trey tells me and I tell you, we're just, passing it along, and it works in these waves. I tell you. And what I learned is if you do it from the heart, a little can go a long way. Remember we said that the other night?
Absolutely.
So we're coming right to it, right to you, right from the heart, every night on Shiba Night. Where you at?
Hey.
I'm gonna stop it right there, guys. Just